There we go. So, tonight's going to be interesting. Both of the NPC players, which, if you two want to say hello.
Hello, it is
Hey.
me.
That's Bexy Chillin, you can hear, and the second voice is Cos D&D. They're both in the chat if you do want to speak to them throughout the session. To summarize,
We are all Twitch creators too. Wow,
yeah,
look at us.
it's like
Being
a weird,
accomplished.
it's a mush collab.
Yeah, true.
But let's explain how you guys got to where you are before we explain exactly where you are. So you met the main party, which you guys can see on the left of the screen. You were helping them in Brial, in the town of Frosselgur, dealing with a fungal infestation. They came to you for aid, as they were a venturing party that had ventured into town, looking to help, in which you were already there, studying away and working, on behalf of the capital, the central capital of Havelter, under the scholarship and tutorship there. You were sent to aid wherever you could. Now, you two have had a very interesting relationship with each other specifically. Let's just say you two are not the best of friends. Is that probably the best way to put it?
There's a certain love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more complicated than that. I think on Facebook it would have been it's complicated.
Yeah, we'll go with it's complicated. And let's just say, to the untrained eye, you guys were mortal enemies, tearing verbal bells out of each other in front of pretty much anyone. It didn't matter, including the party, who met Argyle first, who was working in the mortuary and crematorium of the church in town, followed by Clarissa not long after. The dull, boring cow. Fuck me, I love that line so much. Followed by Clarissa, who was working actually in one of the source areas in the forest at the actual lumberyard. She'd set up some warding and protection, which Argyle mistakenly disrupted, causing an attack when you guys were out there, causing you guys to flee southward.
Still salty.
But it was almost like it was a stroke of genius, because you stumbled upon some loose shale and thin stone, and both Clarissa and Eventine fell through the roof of this small mountain into a cavern that looked like to have had man worked in it at some point, with cut stones taken out and things like that. Investigating more, you'd actually found an underground wizard's tower and laboratory, as well as Clarissa put it, a king. A large myconid mushroom man called Deeproot, who was being held captive, and you had inadvertently found the source of this fungal infestation. You encountered a person who was living in the laboratory. He was very swiftly captured, but did have some tough defenses that were very easily dealt with through a good combination of many crowd control abilities, slowing them down, wearing them out. So by the time they did get through, it was actually a much easier fight than it more than should have been. It was very well done. The guy was interrogated and taken to town by the party to be put to justice for his aid in essentially creating the entire fungal disease. You two stayed with Deeproot as it was daylight, and Deeproot couldn't go out in the sunlight due to his sensitivity. You two were going to escort him back once the sun had gone down, but never made it back. And unbeknownst to the party, the teleportation circle that was in place in that lab that wasn't destroyed was used to have someone teleport in. Someone very, very magical. Someone very, very powerful. And Deeproot was spotted. You guys had a chance to escape. And in a moment of self-sacrifice, Argyle presented himself to the wizard to give Clarissa a chance to leave. Clarissa, not wanting to be outdone, also wanted to do the same, and both of them, in the defense of Deeproot, instead of leaving him to whatever fate was to be, charged and fought. But it was just too much. And you were both very, very swiftly incapacitated and captured. After that, your memory goes blank for a bit until you remember waking up, bound and blinded, separate from each other, and haven't heard each other since. But you hear the odd voices of talking people in a room where you are. You feel you're in a cage barely big enough to hold your bodies. And each day, at times you don't know because of being blinded and there's no sense. You're taken to rooms. You're unblindfolded. You're washed down with water. Well, sprayed, literally, while still bound. It's not pleasant. And then fed. Having your spell slots drained. And it's through an arcanist that drains the spell slots from you and stores them into raw, uncut, white crystals. Once those are done and all your spell slots are expended, you're re-blinded, placed back in your cages, and you wait until the next day when it all happens again. This has been going on now for about 2-3 weeks. Time's getting a bit fuzzy at this point. With nothing to go off, you kind of start to lose track of the days a little bit. The only person you see are the same two people. The guard that feeds you and cleans you. The arcanist that takes your spell slots. That's it. And it's the same people every time. So, is there any questions that you two want to ask about that experience?
Yes. Just one, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was it from now that Argyle received the sending?
The initial one.
I believe there are two.
The one come a lot
first
later,
one-
which hasn't technically happened yet.
I see.
Because we're working slightly a bit backwards in time to the current time. The first one you would have received probably a few hours after waking up. It was probably the thing that woke you up, the sending spell, because that was done the morning after you were taken. So I'd imagine after sleeping off whatever injuries you sustained and waking up, that would have happened fairly quickly. But the second one, which happened in the last main campaign episode, hasn't technically happened yet, and I will explain when it does. Obviously, you're clothed to modesty, but you have no armor, no equipment. You have no spell focus, no component pouches. Spells, I will technically allow you to have changed your spells, but obviously, as it stands, I was going to go based off what spells you had when you were taken. Just bear in mind, you don't have components, or technically somatics at the minute because you're bound.
What are the guards like?
The guard you see, it's human man, fairly average build. It's wearing chainmail, has short sword, hand crossbow combination.
And at this point, we are without spell slots, without anything. Do I have my glasses?
You're blinded. You have a blindfold on, so
Glasses
they would
over
have been
blind.
taken off, I would imagine.
Okay.
But
What
yeah.
has happened to all my bees, my bumblebee, and my butterflies?
They probably, when you were quote unquote cleaned, taken.
No!
Your hair would have been dragged through to be
Torbjörn.
taken, and unfortunately so. Hello, Mace Knight. Just to let you know about the news that I put in the Go Live thing, and this will be interesting for you too. I've actually got a partnership at the minute with Wraith Energy Drink. It's really fucking nice, actually. It's like a powdered stuff, like you get like G Fuel and things. And I've been invited to have a partnership with them. So if you are looking for any, Some of them a couple of flavors are a bit nah, in my opinion. There's a few fucking lovely flavors. I've got to admit. I've put an order through of 140 quid today. Yikes! Because I got partnered. It was like, I can use my own discount code. I was cheeky as shit. But that's the news, mate. Tonight, man. Thank you. But yeah, feel free to check it out, anyone in your own time. But yeah, back to you guys. So yeah, about 5-6 days, maybe. You don't know at this point. When you're taken, and we'll start with Argyle first. You're taken to the room. You're unblindfolded, but you're not fed. You're not sprayed yet. Instead, the Arcanist that's across from you, that normally drains your spell slots, is sat there with a notepad and a quill. Right. What's your name?
Argyle stares at him defiantly. Chained. Aren't you going to do it? I'm ready. Just do it already.
What they?
Fuck's sake. Give me a sec. I forgot to turn the sound alerts off, and people have found out. Shit. Fuck's sake. I am so sorry. I forgot to turn them off. Okay, they're off. Fucking dickheads. Sorry. Say that again, Argo, because I was being pelted with shit.
He says, he stares defiantly at the Arcanist, chained in his chair. Aren't you going to do it? I'm ready. Just do it. Do it already.
I will. But first, questions. Your name.
Get nothing out of me, sir. Not without a proper formal introduction.
Fair enough. My name is your fate. And if you don't answer the questions, you will not eat. You will suffer greatly. So, we'll start again. And you can see there's this sinister smile as he says about the idea of, like, hurting you in some way. Your name, please.
Argyle takes a moment to weigh up the Arcanist. Argyle Pyromane of the Ember Eye Pride, sir.
Good. Wasn't hard, was it? And if you cooperate, you may just get out of this. You do know. Right.
Insight check.
Roll him. Oh, you. Given the lack of social interaction, the stress and everything, you have no idea this man's true intentions. The only thing you've got to go on is what he's saying at the minute. You just don't know.
You hold all the cards, it seems. I am merely your captive. But if you had any sense of humanity within you, you would offer me at least an iota of an explanation.
Okay. And what explanation do you want?
What do you want with me?
At the minute, we are, as you know, taking your potential and storing it for later use. But right now, it's very much an interest to see who we have in our midst. So, Dr. Argyle and the rest. Who was the people you were working with? Didn't seem to be people you particularly knew, considering they left you.
Mere traveling adventurers. I had only the briefest of encounters with them. Their names elude me.
Okay. What about the friend of yours that you came here with? What's her deal?
I have no idea who you're referring to.
The goat girl that you brought with you. Oh, we brought with you.
So you still have her?
Yes?
Argyle takes a deep sigh and a deep breath and sighs it out. He's still alive.
Very much so. In fact, are we going to see her next?
Then I'm sure you will find out for yourself who she is.
But I want to know what she's to you. Dr. Argyle.
I don't see how that matters.
In time it'll make more sense, but I suppose it'll do for now. So, hungry?
Not particularly.
Oh, right down to business. I like you. And
Well, I despise you.
he will silently get up, and it takes about half hour going through the process once more of the same ritual you've been subjected to. You don't get fed this time. You're taken back. Clarissa.
Yeah.
And I will say, it's during... it's the next day, Argyle, that you would have had the sending spell reach you. That I semi-responded in your vein. You're taken to the room, and again, the same process. Rather than the exact ritual you've been subjected to before. The same Arcanist that Argyle's just been speak with sat across from you. Quill, notepad. Hello. How are you feeling?
Oh, this is for me. Or was it for
Yeah,
Argyle?
no, this is for you. This is for you.
Oh, this is for me.
Yeah. He's been taken back, and you've been probably, for the sake out of character, it's about 10 minutes difference, and you was taken.
Immediately there's a very angry stare. 100th time of trying to break through the bonds. You don't care? Why are you lying? You don't treat like people like this and care. Why do you want to know?
That's fair. No, I don't really care, but there are other people here that do. So,
Who? Who would subject people to this and care? Does that make sense? No.
it's fine either way. But we're getting to know some of the people we have here. Some of our visitors. We've already met your good friend, the Doctor. And he spoke a little about you, so let's start with your name.
Wait. Argyle is here?
Very much so.
What has he said?
He said a number of things, really, but that's for my notes and for my superiors to find.
I don't believe you.
You don't have to.
Good! Then we're in agreement.
So your name?
Why do you care?
I don't. I'm doing my
Yeah,
job.
stop caring, because I care more about me not telling you about anything than you care about finding it out, so you can stop right now.
Okay. And what about Argyle, then? Got anything to say about him? Or the companions you were travelling with?
I don't care to say anything.
And you got nothing else to add? You do know if
Right.
you cooperate, you may just go back home one day.
Why are you lying?
I'm not.
Doesn't make... All of this doesn't make any sense. Why are you doing this? This is so unnatural.
Well,
Why?
from the notes we have, you destroyed one of our facilities, or at least had a hand in it. Amongst the other ones that you were with, both of you were inflicting damage. You have been arrested for that.
You inflicted damage first. The poison, the disease.
No. What you're
No?
talking about is the experimentations that mutated beyond our control.
Well, then you are to blame.
Right. But who's to blame for the destruction of our facility? The capturing and torture of one of our employees.
Torture? I don't know anything about that.
He was tortured in your control, and when taken back to town, he had all of his fingers and his tongue removed, as amongst a number of physical injuries sustained.
No,
You'll be happy to know he's dead because of it.
but they wouldn't do that. No, I don't believe it. You're lying again.
No. The removal of the fingers and tongue was not done by your companions, but it was through your means that it happened. You took him back to town. You knew what the guards here would do. And yet you did it anyway.
It's justice. It's just justice, not... This is definitely not justice, and torturing that person is not justice, so I don't believe you, because I know that those friends of mine believed in justice and were good people.
And if you think what you're doing is justice, then why are you refusing to cooperate? Because if you're doing the right thing, you have nothing to worry about.
You're not... I don't trust you. What you're doing is not justice. This is torture.
I mean, it's no better than the fate you've subjected many of our people to.
Just kill me. Instead of doing this.
Why? Why do you want to die? I'm giving you the chance to get out of here eventually. Live. Maybe even see that mutt or pup, kitten, whatever it is, the furball in the other room.
Because there are some things worth dying for.
Alright. Makes a note, shuts the book, goes through the process then of you again. Same with you. You are not fed. You are not cleaned. You are simply siphoned and taken back. You're blinded and bound. And then
He struggles all the way of not being blinded and like moved away.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scary. Saves. Where are the saves again on the thing?
They should be at the top left.
Top left.
If you're looking at the character sheet on Roll20, it should be top left.
It's on
Oh, I'm in the D&D Beyond.
Oh,
it's on top left still. It says-
oh, is it top left still?
Oh yeah, no, okay, there
Yeah.
it is. Oh,
You're getting a
so
lot.
I'm-
You're getting a lot of chance in the chat. A couple of chance for a nat 20.
Do I need to press it twice? Why is it so weird?
Do you have Roll20 open? Are you
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got Roll20 open.
Maybe it hasn't. Ah, well, I will do it by hand.
Yeah. Not bad.
Damn.
You resist. As you start to resist initially, you feel like parts of your body grow very cold as you're hit with a wave of energy. And the necrotic energy doesn't take a hold on you, and as you're about to, like the guard's trying to put the blindfold on, the same Arcanist goes, "You know what happens if you resist, right? Don't make us hurt you any more than we have."
I will. I will make you do all the terrible things. And maybe, just maybe, there will be a shrivel of compassion in you.
So be it. And I'm going to fade to black on that little bit there, as you will be, in the nicest way possible, beaten into submission or unconsciousness. Because you're bound, you're being held down by the guard, and I would imagine Clarissa sounds like she's going to fight to the unconsciousness, isn't she?
But she's gonna try.
Eventually, the damage would just be too much. And with no spell slots either, after having the procedure done, you're defenseless. You're both taken back to your cells, one in a more calmed state now, shall say. Drop yourself to 1 hit point, because you would have been...
Alright.
You would have been stabilized, but you wouldn't have been killed. But bruised and beaten, you're put in your cell. And you're not... Again, time becomes wobbly, because you come to expect them taking you from your cells. You neither of you are touched for what seems like an eternity. Months, even. And... the cage is, and this is during this time, Argyle, is when you get the message from Cass, as per the main episodes, where she asks more for the description of the person to confirm identities with, and you mention that what they're doing to you, the siphoning of your abilities, you haven't seen Clarissa or anything. That was what was conversed. And a few hours later, you feel that you hear the steps, you hear the cage opening, and you feel them grab a hold of you, Clarissa by the hair and Argyle by one of the legs, and you hear them cutting chunk of hair off. You have no idea why.
Muffled cries.
Your mouth's not gagged, you can still speak, obviously. You can hear, you just can't see or move.
Alright, then it would be more like something, hey, what are you doing that for? Stop! Stop it!
There's no response from them as they just go about the business. And the cage is shut quite abruptly. The same with you, Argyle.
Argyle will, after months, I suppose, will be growling almost half feral as his mind wanders. He's blind. He's blinded whilst incarcerated.
You're blinded and bound, but you can hear and speak.
Okay. He growls and roars when his fur is taken from him.
And hungry. That's a good point. You haven't been out of character. You guys haven't been fed for 3 days.
Weakened and angry and half losing his mind, once released back into the cage, you will hear him talking to himself in a low mutter, as if having a conversation with Sparky. Just, no real semblance of sentence structure, more just blurts of incomprehensible gibberish, as if talking to a friend that's not there.
Yeah. Because at the minute, Sparky's not here, and hasn't been since you were knocked unconscious in that cave. But another couple days pass, and a familiar presence occurs. The cage is opened. You're taken. You're going out of the door. But instead of going straight ahead that you're used to where you would be fed and siphoned, Argyle and Clarissa, at different times, you're both turned to the right and into a room on the left instead, rather than going straight across what you would assume is like a hallway. You're both sat down, and you are remained blinded. You both stay blinded during this. But the Arcanist that interviewed you those days ago, we'll start with Clarissa this time. Had time to cool off?
At this point, Clarissa has been trying to pass the time by singing childhood ditties that she learned in the Druidic Combine that she comes from, because she is bored out of her mind that it's starting to become like a mental state. So she is just shaking from hunger and thirst and tiredness, but also too much energy at the same time. Probably coming down on a few drugs as well.
Oh god, no. Oh no.
So she ignores him for now.
Yeah. No, Carl, it's not beaten to the point of immobility. They're bruised and beaten. It's like they're in pain, but that's it. And the thing is, technically after a long rest, they would be, for the most part, fine, with the exception of a few aches and pains. In terms of food, starvation stuff, they're really rough. But the same voice speaks and goes, well, we have done all we can with you. You have one thing to do. If you do it, you can leave. Does that sound interesting to you?
Oh, something different, maybe. Oh. What sounds interesting to you? What have you been doing today?
Well, I've been compiling the reports, monitoring your friends, as it were.
Fascinating.
And they seem to have been in contact with the doctor of yours, and we sent a couple of people to watch over them. We'll see how they get on. But let's talk about you. I'm surely you're thirsty and hungry, at the very least. So, we have brought food and water for you to eat and drink if you wish, but if you listen and follow my instructions, you can leave.
Please tell me the instructions.
There is a number of other prisoners here. Some,
Oh, how many?
a few, but some of them have had their potential drained to a point that their use to us is no more. And they're in the same position as you. Kill the person, you can leave. If you don't, I kill you both.
Now that's funny.
Who's laughing? Except you, of course, but I'm not joking.
I know you aren't. You're so evil. I mean, wow. It's amazing.
So, you're aware of the instructions. You'll have your chance to eat and drink, and you'll have an hour. Once you're unblinded, of course. And unbinded. And just for the sake of clarification, you have all your spell slots, both of you, for today. So, do you understand, at least?
I do, but maybe you can tell it to me again.
Okay.
You know, more about what you did today.
You're sat in the corner of a room that is 20 foot by 20 foot. I am stood in the centre. At my feet is a blade and some food and some water. Enough for one person. You're going to be sat across from another in the exact same position. If neither of you do anything, I kill you both. If one kills the other, the one that lives leaves, to anywhere of their choice.
But why? What purpose does this serve?
Plenty.
Like,
We have taken from you what we need. You have served your sentence for what you have done, and you'll be allowed to go free. Once you complete one final thing.
do you really let the one who kills the other go? Really?
To anywhere in Tira of your choice. Or any of the other planes if you're creative enough.
I don't understand this game.
It's not a game. It's a duty. And he will cast silence on your area. So you
No, I
can't...
want to hear something.
You're deaf entirely. You can still shout, but it produces no noise.
She would be shouting for a while.
Argyle, you're brought in. Same man. You're sat down. You're still blinded.
Going for a walk, Sparky. Hasn't been like that for a while. How many steps is it today, Sparky? So, more, less?
Just 4 more. And then take a seat.
Oh, Sparky, I mean, how are you doing today? I haven't heard your voice for so long. Are you well, Sparky?
Well, Sparky's been telling me a lot of things and says that you are free to leave today if you do one more thing for us. Do you want to leave today?
Oh, well, that sounds wonderful, Sparky. I can't help but feel like you're best part of me. I'm sorry for treating you bad all those years, Sparky.
Well, there is some food and some water and a weapon beneath my feet. I'm sure you're hungry, thirsty. All you've got to do is stop the person in front of you taking... Oh my fucking god, Belial, thank you for the 100 bits. You have to stop the person in front of you that wants what you need. You do that. You tell us a place in the world and you will go there. You can leave. You can live your life. You can go back to whatever it is you were doing before. Does that sound good?
Just want to see you one more time, Sparky. How long's it been now, Sparky?
You've been in here, in this building, for 3 weeks now. You haven't eaten for 3 days. I'm sure your stomach is growling and your throat is begging. Are you ready?
Is it a nice meal, Sparky? Have you cooked up, Dr. Parverman, some nice meal?
It's something easy to start you. You don't want to throw it back up. It's fruits, fresh, and some cold cooked meats.
Yeah, boy.
And a fresh water skin filled with icy water.
Oh, that sounds delicious, Sparky. Why are you so good to me?
It's at this point. I'm just gonna...
Yeah, boy.
Let me... The silence is cancelled. A mage hand takes both of your blindfolds off, and you see each other across the room. There's a sack in the center of the room with a dagger sticking into the sand that's on the floor, a water skin, and a small cloth wrapped over some food.
Boy.
You're still bound at this point. You can stand up and walk around, but your hands are tied behind your back.
Immediately when the silence ends, there's going to be like a scream.
Yeah,
that
well, the silence
die.
ends, you scream. Argo, you hear this, and then it's about a second or so later, both sets of blindfolds are lifted.
No more silence! Argyle! Is that... What? No, I must be seeing things.
Oh no, you're very much seeing each other. As I said to both of you, one of you leaves. Or neither of you. Make your choice. You'll have an hour. If not, one of you is dead. I will make sure you both are.
Argyle looks, with hazy eyes around the room, and when he hears the scream of Clarissa, his pupils dilate as his animalistic tendencies of a weakened creature kick in. Hey, what is he bound with? Like, is it rope or something like that?
It's manacles, just chain manacles. Yeah.
Okay. He'll struggle to try and shatter them or pull them apart.
Well,
Argyle, what What you doing? What's happening?
In
Hello?
in the palm of the Arcanist's hand, he opens out 2 keys, uses Mage Hand and picks one up, and moves it over to you, Clarissa, first, and places it, if you allow him to, in the palm of your hand. And the second one
Yeah.
goes to Argyle. I'll be back. Have fun, you two. We'll be watching, occasionally. And the stone door will rise upwards. He will leave. It will then shut, and you'll see there's like a keyhole lock on it, but it's all the door's entirely made of stone. You'll hear a mechanical click. You're both left alone.
Argyle roars as he does his
Roar.
manacles. Rar. With his bonus action, he will actually use his racial daunting roar.
Okay. And what does that do?
It's a wisdom saving throw, or become frightened.
Clarissa, can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Right though. Can I just choose to fail? Because she
You
is
said-
pretty scared.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, no, she is very scared.
A bestial roar lets out from Argyle as he grasps this key and pulls against the restraints. You can freely stand up and walk around, obviously it's just your hands that are bound. But Clarissa, you kind of sink back into your chair, just kind of frozen. You took notice of the door shutting, you noticed the stuff in the centre of the room, and your eyes fixated, wide, almost pupilless, looking at Argyle as he's just beast incarnate at this point.
No. Please, no.
And as the roar echoes around the room, you see his mane flare up in an angry crimson red, staining the colors of the walls inside this cell with a deep glow. And he will cast Enlarge on himself, turning himself into a tremendously large.
Are you able to do that with just verbal? Because you
it
technically
is-
don't have semantics, because your hands are... You have a key, but obviously your hands are still bound.
Oh, so it's an action to unhook first?
Yeah,
To- to
I will say, make a sleight of hand check, not to see if you pass or fail, but how long it takes. Fairly quick. Clarissa, are you going to try at any point to do the same, or are you just frozen?
For now, Clarissa's frozen.
Okay. Takes about 10 or 15 seconds, but you're able to slip one manacle off and bring your hands around it, quickly undo the second one. The room, just for the clarification, the ceiling's about 15 foot high. The walls are all made of stone plain. So now you have the ability to cast verbal and semantic components.
Do you wish us to roll initiative?
This is how it's going to go down, then yes, please.
It's
So-
just for the purposes of determining who goes
Yes,
first.
no, that's perfectly
yeah.
fine. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No. I'll add you like that.
You could right click on her token and choose add turn.
Can I?
You can. You can do that.
Oh! Oh my god!
Oh,
Thank you! Clarissa, you have first action.
I like it, cut G.
at first, Clarissa is still scared in the chair.
How long does the fear last? Just quickly.
At the end of her turn, she can choose to save against it.
Okay.
It's right until the end of actually my next turn.
Okay, so no, it actually would have worn off, because by the time you undid your manacles, it technically would have been the end of your next, because it's 6 seconds. So the fear would have subsided. and it's just like, oh, okay, this is happening.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
grasp
that's
it,
what I'm,
grasp
I
hands,
like it, cut G.
hands behind your back, key firmly grasped in your left hand.
She starts to go to she stands up and backs away like a few steps.
I like it, cut G.
Grasping the key in her hand, she starts to frantically trying to open up the manacles.
Make a
But
sleight
in
of
the
hand
middle,
check. Go on.
but in the middle of that, she stops.
Okay.
Turn to Argyle, with pink eyes that's never been so dull.
I like it, cut G.
And I would like to use Druidcraft to make a simple white tulip and say, "You are the more talented on this time, Marco.
I like it, cut G.
You go back. For your sake. You deserve it."
Okay. And
And I would like to end my turn.
okay. Okay. So Argyle, you see Clarissa stand up and do something behind her back. Obviously, you're in a moment where I'd imagine you probably aren't too familiar. You're probably familiar she's got manacles, but that's about it. She turns.
Argyle is short-sighted. Without his glasses.
You see something small and white sprout from nearby
I
Clarissa.
like it, cut G.
You see her look up towards you, and you hear her repeat the sentence you just heard. What do you do?
I like it, cut
He
G.
looks down at the key in his paw and hearing this strange voice, different to what he is
I like it, cut G.
grown accustomed to.
Guys, if you keep spamming the 10-bit thing, I'm gonna turn it off. I'm warning you, fuckers. Carry on, sorry.
He will undo his manacles.
You've already undone them, remember?
Oh, I've already done that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Before
Then
initiative was
he-
called.
He throws them against the door here, like with as much force as he can,
Uh-huh.
stepping up weakly out of his chair.
Mm-hmm.
And that same scene. That
Just
I
to
mentioned
point out,
before.
literally dead center of the room is where the food, the water, the dagger is.
He'll get there. Purely by just making himself twice the size
Mm.
as a giant furball.
Does that actually change your size category? It does, doesn't it?
And yeah, the room gets stained ever further with the swirling of flame as his eyes, with the dilated pupils, stare down on the fuzzy
Thank you.
creature in the corner
Mm-hmm.
and gets down on all fours and begins to stalk her.
Uh-huh.
Clarissa's like meekly holding up that tulip, looking to the ground, resigning herself.
Uh-huh.
And he'll use all his movement
Just stalking.
to stalk her,
I like it, cut G.
sniffing the air.
Mm-hmm.
We're not alone, Sparky. Who or what is this?
Make a
Step
history
on the
check
food.
with disadvantage, please. Yeah, you don't recognize the scent of the other person in the room. It was disadvantaged because you've technically got exhaustion from starvation.
Mm-hmm. Action and movement.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you eventually step upon the food.
Yeah, and I like almost crush it into the ground unknowingly. It's
Yeah.
not like completely destroyed, but his,
Yeah, the
his
two-
attention.
The 2 oranges and have been like smushed into the sand, and like some of the dried cooked meats like has squelched a little bit, but it's still good. Maybe the water skin, like you step on it, it's like stepping on a waterbed for a hot second.
Okay.
Is that it,
That's all I can do.
Clarissa?
I mean, maybe 2 tulips.
Well,
He's pretty good to cast magic, not gonna lie.
you see the shadow of Argyle like stalking and pacing, but obviously as you're not looking at him, he hasn't charged you. You don't know. Like,
Yeah, she grabs two more in her hand, and she says, "Come on, you dull kitty. You know what to do. Don't drag this out. You should be the one who leaves."
and is that all you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
You still not undoing your manacles?
Nope.
Okay. Argyle.
Mhm.
It's back to you.
Just for clarity's sake,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Clarissa had a long rest before this, right?
You've
She
both
doesn't have-
you've both technically had a long rest since. You both have all your spell slots, all your health. You are clothed within modesty, and that is it. The only equipment you have access to is what is in the middle of the room on the floor.
Mhm.
Nothing else. No druidic focus, no religious symbol, no component pouch, no armor, no weapons other than the dagger.
He has his claws. He doesn't need a dagger.
Wow! Fuck! Yo.
He will continue to get closer, and as he like steps within range of Clarissa,
Mm-hmm.
he will like back out, testing his prey.
There is
stepping
no
to the side.
There is no running. There is no resistance. There is very quiet, familiar voice mumbling, very solemnly and reluctant. But that's it.
Argyle will rush in on the end of his movement, and with one massive kitty paw, decimate the chair that Clarissa is sitting on, sweeping out from underneath her and shattering it, hopefully.
Make an attack roll, yeah.
With my claws.
Oh, your kitty claws.
And with my claws.
What's funny is I'm watching the D&D party going ballistic in the chat, and they can't do anything about it. Because normally, as D&D players, there's always something you can do, but it's gotta kill them being powerless watching this.
Miss this chair.
Yeah, I would say with the hunger and dehydration, Clarissa, you see a big, large hand swipe, and it scuffs the sand just short of the legs of the chair and your feet, and it kicks up
And
a
I
wave
have
of
so
sand.
The claws scrape across the ceiling above her, like massive gashes in the stonework.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as you do this sweeping uppercut with the claw, it takes deep gash in the sand and flicks like a wave of sand up you. And then his arm carries through the momentum, not knowing the full strength of what he's just done. And you just hear as stone scrapes as you quickly glance up, and you see 2 deep, thick ridges cut into the roof of the ceiling as he then pulls his arm back from the swing. And you can see the main red, crimson fire. His body twice the size it should be. This is almost a man possessed, not himself.
Is this
the meal you made me, Sparky.
Clarissa's gonna shrink and shriek a bit at first, but then she perks up and says, "Hey, at least do it properly, okay? You know, this should be a certain amount of effort put into killing me, alright?"
You know what? I'm going to give you that as a reaction. So, Argyle, can you make an insight check? With disadvantage. Because,
Oh, did it?
yeah.
I'm batshit crazy.
Yeah.
18.
As your claws hit and rake through the ceiling, you hear Clarissa shout this out to you. Your body kind of like stops for a moment, as that voice is the first voice that's pierced your ears clearly since you were taken. And your body kind of like locks up, almost as if something's influenced you for like a second. And there's immediate recognition to that voice. You recognize that as the peppy, Wiccan, filthy, bug-ridden girl that you have spent all your life being taught alongside. Through a moment, you get this for a moment, through the rage, through the animalistic action, you recognize that voice.
His fur sort of shudders, hearing the scream. That's his turn, though.
Now we go to Clarissa's. Yeah.
Noticing his lack of determination,
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna angrily get to her feet and stomp over to the knife
Mm-hmm.
and pierce it towards herself and say, "Come on, you boy can't do it! You should be the one leaving, otherwise you both die! Just do it!"
Okay, so yeah, I'll put you, because the dagger's like over here, so yeah, you step to here and you hold the dagger in your manacled hands and like point it just under the breastbone on your chest. And again, Argyle, you look as you see this figure quickly get up, walk around you, point the dagger at, well, point the metal weapon at herself, as you recognize the voice of Clarissa. You don't see it because short-sighted, you see coloured blobs, but you hear the voice and recognise the voice. There's something there you recognise.
Okay, as
And
I
they
like
shall-
it, cut G.
is that your turn?
Belial, if you watch the D&D episodes where these characters were involved, it'll make so much sense. Just know, these are the two poor fuckers that decided to help the party.
Argyle wheels around on Clarissa, and he will pounce her in a grapple.
Okay. Can you make a grapple check?
And because he's big, he has advantage.
Yes. So can you make an athletics check, Clarissa? If you're going to fight it, I need an athletics or an acrobatics with disadvantage because you're manacled.
Yeah, no. I let it happen.
Okay.
Okay, I went rolling.
Okay.
Just in case things go horrible, huh?
So yeah, your figure, Argyle, just leaps onto this small grey furred woman.
And I'll pin her to the ground, and you feel the hot breath coming out of Argyle's mouth as his jaws get ever closer to your face. That will be his action.
Yeah, because the action was to grapple. Yeah.
That's right. And he gets closer and closer. It's just right there on your unfuzzy face.
I don't want to be that person, but she has the dagger, you know, in front of her body, and he pounces her.
He's quite big, so he's not like
True.
pushing down on her yet, as much as just pinning her. It's not like his whole body is on top of you yet.
Okay.
Your call.
Well, yeah, because I would imagine you kind of pounced aiming for centre mass, and that's where she's holding the dagger. So,
No, sorry, I should have clarified. Clarissa, you would have noticed that like he would have like pushed you down, but he has from your shoulders down. So he's pinned your shoulders
okay.
down, and he is looking. The current position that he's in is currently his butt is towards the door.
Yeah. Okay. Just roll, Clarissa. Roll a d20. And what we'll do is, if it's under 10, he catches the dagger in a way that pierces the skin and does damage. If not, it's lucky.
Cool.
Okay.
There's luck.
Yeah. Alagan, I don't have the thing set up. The only specific bit sound alerts I have is for under 100, over 100, 10, and 69. Because reasons. Yeah, so I would say the dagger is like the point is broken through, like what tattered shirt you were given to keep your modesty. And he's just pushing into the skin, but hasn't quite broken the skin yet, as the hilt of the dagger is against you, Argyle, and you feel that pushing against your sternum.
Okay.
Well, lion jaws in your face in a threatening way is not that nice to experience. So she's gonna, shrink to the floor,
Uh-huh.
but with tears coming from her eyes. Very little though, because she's very dry.
Yep.
You know what to do. You want to do great things, I'm sure. Better than I can ever do. I was a failure as a druid and as a cleric too.
Nice.
So it's a better way.
Okay.
I like it, Kaji.
Okay. Moving back to... Oh yeah, well, that was Vargo's turn then. I'm assuming that's what your turn is to do that. To say that, Clarissa.
Affirmative.
Argyle, you hear this plea coming from the recognisable voice.
I like it, Kaji.
As his maw gets closer, you hear him say in a deep, soft manner,
Yeah, boy.
This is not our end.
and his mane will flare, using a bonus action
Mm-hmm.
to summon Sparky.
Roll a d20. And add your spellcast modifier.
Nice.
Through it all. Sparky apparates, yeah. I don't have his token. You do. I believe.
I don't.
Oh, shite. Hang on. I think I know where it'll be. Because it's in the Discord chat, isn't it? Of ours.
Yeah, I have the image if you want me to send it to you, but I don't
Just
have
pop it
any
in the group
roll
chat
credit.
again. Yeah, pop it in the group chat again so I can drag it into Roll 20 as Sparky does appear. Sparky does appear.
I like it, cut G.
Chat.
Yeah. While chat can't have sound alerts proper, they're making use of all the bits, like for the normal bits. They're making their thoughts known.
You have it?
No.
Yeah, boy.
It's in the.
Oh, have you put it? Oh, have you put it in? Oh, you've put it there. I was looking at the group chat. Hang on. I get it. I get it.
Oh, apologies.
No, it's fine. Let's give me a
Yeah,
sec
boy.
to save it. Okay. And we have it. Oh my god! Sparky is huge!
Yeah, boy.
Thank you everyone for the bits. But yeah, so Sparky appears like...
And
Yeah, boy.
he looks to Clarissa and says, in hushed tones,
If you want us to both get out of here,
Yeah, boy.
crawl into my mouth.
Yeah, boy.
Did I just hear that right? Did I just hear that right?
What the? I mean, he is enlarged. Yeah.
No, he is.
I am.
Okay. Okay.
But, I mean, and Clarissa is kind of like a small satyr. I think she's like 155 or something like that.
Yeah, satyrs are small. Well,
The medium.
on the small end. Yeah, the small end of medium.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You
Okay.
don't have to get all the way in.
Please don't say things that way.
Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna temporarily suspend initiative while you guys do this back and forth. So, yeah, Clarissa, you have a chance to respond as you seem go to like bite at your throat, and you you seem focused for a second, and Sparky plops into existence next to you, and you hear him whisper this: "If you want to live, crawl into my mouth."
Wow. First of all, Clarissa's eyes widen, and considering all the emotional things that have happened recently and like wanting to die there for a second, I think she actually bursts out laughing, but it's kind of hysterical.
What do you do?
Well, no, she bursts out laughing.
Yeah, hysterically.
Okay. He's gonna roll his eyes. And he's gonna like he's gonna grapple, but he wants to like
Uh-huh.
look like he eats her. But you know how like a mother lion grabs hold of their pups by
The back of the neck.
back of the neck or like any part of them basically. He
Uh-huh.
wants to numb her and like keep her like suspended in his jaws behind his teeth but not crunching down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get you. So, like, what are you biting to grab?
It's more like a pincer movement.
No,
rather-
like,
I
are
wanna
you
grab
grabbing like an arm, a shoulder?
the juiciest part?
What?
Just on like her haunches or something. Like her lower torso,
Okay, okay.
the fuzzy part.
Everything is fuzzy.
Everything is cool when you're part of the team.
I like it, cut G.
Okay,
And as he
okay.
does that. He wants. So the theory is that he wants to pick her up and then look to Sparky, and give him a wink, and he will command Sparky to use fiery teleportation to go on the other side of the door.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. Right away, sir. Right away. And you are both teleported. The other side of the door. Which, just let me... No. Reveal areas. Thank you.
And carrying Clarissa in his jaws, he's gonna have to make a snap decision on which way to run.
You can wait the fuck there, mister. Because I've got a few people to put in. Just to point out, the white lines on the walls are doors.
White lines on. Okay, yes.
White lines blow away. And you see... let me zoom in, 'cause I need to get... Oh, shit, actually, no, you guys wouldn't be there, because you would have teleported to... Fuck. Here, because there was a guard right there, as well as one down there. Yeah, that's it for those. So yeah, as you puff the other side of this door, you give the guard a good fucking scare as this giant fireball just... And like, you've got a bound Clarissa hanging from your mouth, clutching the dagger still. You've got Sparky and you. I'm gonna think I need to add the guards to the initiative. So yeah, literally, this fire erupts. The guard like jumps out of his skin and kind of just grabs for the short sword at his side. And both of you roll a history check, just flat.
Oh, exciting.
22.
Wow! Nice.
Nice.
Damn.
Nat 20.
This isn't just any guard. This specifically is the guard that's been in control of you two for the past 3 weeks. The one that has been unblindfolding you, spraying you, feeding you, re-blindfolding you, shoving you around in and out of your cages. Specifically. The one down the hall, because it was always the same guard. You're face to face with them. And we'll go from, obviously, initiative again. Clarissa, you're at the start. You both recognize this.
Take the millisecond to like take in the new environment and realize what has happened. And soon as she sees the guard and realizes what happened, she goes, I won't let you kill him! You're supposed to kill me! And then I'm gonna stab him.
Stab the guard or Argyle? The guard.
Stab the guard.
Okay, can you roll? Can you roll with disadvantage because your hands are still bound? So roll to attack with disadvantage against this guard who's fumbling for his short sword.
Yeah. It would be the same. No, it wouldn't be the same I have with my staff because the staff is better. So would just be +4 disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Yeah, the 10, it's not enough. You take a wild swing, and the guard just kind of, "What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck?" And he like, you can see him like panicking, like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, I'm panicking too.
Hang on. This is not... It's the guard's turn, and he shouts to the other one down the corridor who's seen this and goes, "Go and get 8! Quick! Fuck!" And he'll pull out the short sword. And does Sparky technically take up his own space, or can someone enter his space?
It's as if it was any conjured creature.
So he technically takes the space because, because you're actually no. He's gonna step around to here because you're the big bad threat that he can see. Clarissa, you will get an attack of opportunity with the dagger if you want.
Yeah, I won't let him hurt Argyle.
Oh, there was a nat 20 in there. And with a 12, unfortunately, that's not enough. And he's gonna
Stabbing at air.
He's gonna take a swing at you, Argyle, with his short sword. And that's going to be...
I mean, he doesn't have any armor on, so...
No, it's just your dex.
Mhm.
Fuck.
Oh, that hits. No, it doesn't hit.
Yeah, no. So yeah, with a 5, he's kind of he's like in full panic and faff and like, you know what I mean. The other guard is gonna do a sprint, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, and then out of sight.
Okay.
Argyle, it's your turn.
With the satyr in his mouth, the hulking beast of Dr. Pyromane glowers down on this panicked guard.
Mm-hmm.
And he will turn to run. Taking the attack of opportunity, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And as he's running down the corridor...
20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
It's 1d6 plus 1. Take 4 points of slashing damage as he kind of just slashes backslash as you run off.
He winces, but as he is carrying Clarissa off, the light in the corridor flares in a brilliant golden as he commands Sparky to erupt with a 3rd level scorching ray in the face of this guard.
Okay, fuck. Roll to hit.
Okay.
As Sparky just kind of huffs and he puffs, and the first scorching ray hits with
Okay.
6
That's
fire.
There's an additional D8 to every single fire hit.
Okay,
There's another one, so 1 on that one.
so that's 7 points of fire damage with the first of 3.
No, it's
Do you get more?
4.
Is it how does the damage
Get
increase?
more.
Do you get more
get more.
rays? Okay.
More rays. Okay, so it's the second one with a 9 to hit.
That misses, unfortunately.
This is the third one with 12.
Misses, unfortunately.
Oh, hold on, I'm doing something wrong here. Doot, doot. And the fourth one. 25 to hit.
Oh yeah, that one hits. And you get a D8 to that one, did you say? Or is it just the once? Okay, so that
I like
was
it cut, G.
I believe
5 plus 7, so that's 12. Okay. You watch as Sparky huffs and he puffs, and just this flamethrower-esque barrel of fire just goes out, and this man screams, and you hear him drop to the floor, dead in one go. as this man burns up alive and he's charred to cinders. The short sword, ching ching. The crossbow's burnt up and ruined. The chainmail armor's scorched. As he's gone. And you said you're carrying Clarissa with you, so I'm going to move her.
Yes.
So yeah, that man just dies instantly. I'm going to polygon reveal more.
Sparky can use his movement to hover 30 feet, the same speed, chasing after Argyle and Clarissa.
Hang on, let me give you control.
Alright.
Because at least then, as and when Troy, see if you move it.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it. Nice. Yeah, nice. Clarissa, you see the guard swipe at Argyle and takes a slash up the back. Your hands are still bent. You still got the key and the dagger in your hands, and you're being carried out.
Nice.
You watch as little Sparky goes, and just unleashes a torrent of fire, and you hear the man scream and clatter to the floor, gone.
Well, she wants to try and frantically keep the dagger in her hand and open up her bonds.
Make a sleight of hand check with disadvantage.
Figure. I definitely figure. Could be worse.
I will say it's enough to get the key in the lock, but you're being jostled around too much to be able to turn it.
He's just gonna shout out in annoyance. Stop being so bumbly, cat!
Okay. Goes to the guard's turn. I need to roll. Okay. You hear footsteps rushing but they're coming from the other direction. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, so they would be there at this point. Spent an action. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you very faintly hear just like the stomps of footsteps going from behind you. Haven't had anything ahead of you yet. Argyle, it's to you.
He's gonna dash.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm just going back here.
Yeah. Well, what it is, do your movement, and then as you get to where I reveal new bits, you can maybe take it back. It's up there a sec. Why is the reveal not working? There we go. No. Give me the polygon reveal. Thank you. Okay. There's another guard, just a singular guard stood here. And he just... you got to imagine this as a sight. There's a guard on duty, right? He stood outside a door. He's doing guard things. You know, he's living his best life. He hears an eruption explosion. He hears a man scream. He hears boof, boof, boof. And this large, like 12 foot tall, about 7 foot wide, flaming lion man carrying a satyr, being followed by a fireball, comes barreling round the corner. You've got to imagine, that's a sight. That's a sight.
He does not look happy. Look like angry, feral. Gonna do here.
Yeah, Belial, like Belial said, this guy was due for retirement tomorrow.
His name's Jeff.
His name's Jeff.
He'll make a few gruff sounds, kind of like how a shepherd commands his sheepdog to herd sheep. Because like Sparky goes on my turn, so
Yeah. And I will say it's interchangeable, or you can mix it in between.
he will dash, and as he's dashing, he will command Sparky to fly over him and cast fiery teleportation again to zip down and doing fire damage to this poor guy who's about to retire.
Okay, let me reveal. So-
Flaming Inferno.
So where is it that you were planning on?
Well,
Teleporting
probably further
to.
down since
Yep.
further down.
There
I
we go.
suppose. Okay, so yeah, he'll teleport. So he can only teleport 15 feet. So
Yeah.
from there, so to there.
Can you specify who it hurts, or will it hurt Clarissa as well?
Each creature within 5 feet needs to make a dex save.
Clarissa, can you make a dex?
That has left. That still remained there. If she's coming with me. She
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine then. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Feel that laughter. Huh?
it's got to make a dex save.
Mhm.
Does a 12 do anything?
Yeah, it does. It fails.
Shit. I was like, wait, did it succeed? No. Oh, okay, you're fucking with me. Okay, you're fucking with me. You're fucking with me.
Okay. So he takes 10 points of Inferno fire damage
Ooh.
as they blast away down here.
Yeah, that guy is not having a great day. He's on death's door. He's like, as you come running at him and you just see Sparky little and an eruption of flames and fire just knocks this guy against the wall. His back hits the wall with and he just stays on his feet barely, as like the entire like front left of his face, as he kind of turned his head to the right, like some of the skin has just burnt away to raw flesh. This man's fucked. He's alive by 1 hit point.
Poor Jeff.
Yeah, you have almost melted down to bone this guy's left side of his face, and his armor, like some portions of the chainmail, are now glowing orange with the intense heat. So he's probably being burnt from the inside out as well.
I guess there's no golf for Jeff.
Let's just say his pension's going to get put to good use.
That's my turn.
Okay. Why? Oh wait, no, it was Clarissa next. Clarissa,
Well,
you've got the
Right,
manacles. I'd say about halfway. You've got the key in. You just got to crank it.
alright, I'm gonna crank it.
Yeah, I'll give you that as a bonus action because the hard part was getting the key in the hole,
Okay,
and
still
you're
bonus,
able. The shackles come free on a bonus action.
Okay, and it's still disadvantage?
No.
Okay.
But you are still in technically grapple because you are in Argyle's mouth. But I'm assuming would you let her go when she's free to run with you?
If she wants to. He's not like necessarily
Yeah.
pinning her, restraining her in any way. She is like merely behind his canines.
Clarissa, are you going to try and like squirm out of his mouth or not?
These words, man. Try not to laugh.
You want to
Look,
squirm out of my mouth?
There's been a lot of innuendos, all right? There's been a lot of tension between you two, some of which has been very sus. And I've been considering, is this TOS worthy?
You're not making it easy for me. From laughing. But, well, we're 9. Where does it... what happens with a 9?
What was you trying to do?
Get out of the manacles.
But I know I gave it you as a bonus action just because the hard part was getting the key, in which you barely did. It was just it was bonus action. Turn the key. Your arms are free. But you're still in. You're still technically restrained because there was two forms of restraint. You had the manacles and you've got Argyle. But as Argyle said, if you try to pull out of that, he's gonna let you go.
Yeah. If I pull out. If you pull out.
This started extremely dark and now it's just getting into fucking double entendres. Fuck's sake, you two.
Sorry. I can pause myself. She's gonna throw the manacles at the guard.
Okay. Make a ranged attack, which is Dex. You don't have proficiency because you're not proficient with throwing manacles. Because it's technically an improvised weapon.
That's fair.
13 misses.
No, she just did it to make herself feel better.
Okay.
Oh, that's completely fine.
No, but the worst thing was you could have killed him with manacles to the head if you'd have hit. Because he's got 1 hit point, but no.
Yeah, I know.
They just kind of clank, clank, and skid across the floor in front of him as he's currently like half squatting, just like holding his face, screaming.
Instead, Clarissa gained some purchase on Argyle, trying to like sit up a little bit in his mouth, I guess.
Yeah, you do.
To look at his eye on one side. Are you sure we're gonna get out of here? Is this worth it? Wow.
I mean, he's taking his role seriously.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, that's gonna be me.
Okay. It's the guards.
Nice.
Yeah, the guards definitely heard that are in this poor room. And pouring out, one guard comes out and rushes to here. The other two pour out. As you see, there's like a room inside there. And the one guard goes, "Jeff, what the fuck is the matter? What the You see the three of them brandish weapons. The top guy goes to look after Jeff. While the other two, one's going to take a slash at Sparky, the other one's going to take a slash at Carissa. So, the one attacking Sparky gets a natural 20. Does Sparky have hit points?
Yes.
Okay. So, he's going to get dealt 10 damage. Because it's the d6 maxed, plus the 3 that are rolled on the d6, plus 1.
Alright.
So, this one guard just kind of like, fuck, sword, just downward slash, and just like, the blade just goes clean through the top of Sparky. Because he's technically amorphous, it just kind of goes through with a whoosh, but does considerable damage.
Mm-hmm.
Still alive?
Yeah, he has 35 hit points.
Damn, nice.
Whoa!
And then the second guard is just going to do a thrust at Clarissa. As you're just repositioning in Argyle's mouth, he's going to take a thrust stab at you. With a 12. What your dex is plus 1?
Yeah.
So yeah, that hits because you only got an AC of 11 at the minute.
Yes.
You get dealt 5 points of slashing damage as he just thrusts his blade into you.
Okay. You said earlier that I was down on 1 hit points, but that was a few days ago. I assume
Yes.
I healed that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You're on maximum now. Like it's like having a long rest.
I getcha. Alright.
Whose reaction to a fire is hit it with a sword? A guy that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Well,
Argyle. Actually, I've just got to
in-
reveal some more. Train.
Please do. In reaction to being attacked, Sparky will once again use the fiery teleport. As a little Nova explodes underneath them before Argyle moves.
And that's in a 10-foot radius, did you say? Or was it 5 foot?
5 foot.
Okay, so it's only going to hit the 2. Yeah.
Well, it's a little strange here because of like the way that it's all kind of set up. If Clarissa was if Token was on top of Argyle, it would be easier to identify exactly where we are. Because I
Yeah.
can't actually, I would actually be closer, I suppose. But I mean, it doesn't make, or maybe I'll be further away. But it just because you can't sit on the same spot. But yeah, he'll do the fiery explosion for and teleport us 15 foot down, doing this many fire damage.
Okay, 10 again. So yeah, green and blue get dealt 10 fire damage each. So they're on just as much damage as Jeff. So Eric and David also get dealt 10 fire damage.
Eric.
And David.
Okay. Screaming in pain, poof, once again down the corridor, and Argyle will dash with his action.
Yeah, just let me reveal mirror.
He doesn't know where he's going. He's just like
Yeah, I know.
crashing down the corridor.
30's there, and then Sparky will be left behind because he used his action.
Hopefully Jeff survives. He's the real victim here. What about Eric and David who've just had the same treatment? And yeah, you see this part of the facility narrows considerably to a point where it may be a little awkward for you to get down.
Right.
So let me...
That's my action.
yeah. There you go.
Seeing that, can he free action maybe drop Clarissa here?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I would say you're able to drop her in any a square adjacent. So yeah, free action, just open your mouth, and Clarissa fumbles out from it.
Yeah. My turn. I'm gonna use a little bit of movement of just staggering back, and then looking down upon herself with a you.
Yeah, because it is your turn, so you have got that.
Yeah, she doesn't like the saliva on her right now. Just trying to like remove a bit. Then looks at up at Argyle. You reverse that. You're too big. You're not gonna escape. Come on, hurry.
Find the exit. I'll hold them off until you do.
No, this is not how things should be.
I'm coming with you, Clarissa. Don't be so dramatic.
Dramatic? You're dramatic. And she's gonna go.
Okay.
No, you.
Is that as far as you get?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what's behind there.
There you go. You see a corridor that opens up considerably wider with 2 metal gold inlaid double doors. Whereas every other door, whereas every other door's before has been plain stone with some signage on, but obviously you guys have been pelting so quick you haven't been able to read it. This one's metal and with gold inlay on it.
This door looks important. She's kind of like
I'll
looking
just
into the corridor with just her head popping out.
I will point out, Argyle, you can drop your... Its concentration isn't in large.
Yeah.
You can just drop the concentration at any time, just as an FYI.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay. God's turn. They're going to continue. The guards on the left are going to continue 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Two of them are going to stay and 45, 50, 60. And they're going to run there. The 3 with 1 hit point are not going fucking anywhere. And Damien, he's going to go, I'm going to avenge you, Jeff. I love you. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
So Sparky will get an attack of opportunity.
He will.
Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. So Sparky will use his attack is basically he's sneezing on him.
That is a weapon of mass destruction nowadays. God damn it, you animals. So roll to hit first.
Oh right, of course.
So it's 10 damage if you hit.
So it's my spell attack. Plus 7. 23 to hit.
Yeah, fucking hits. As he comes running past and he's got the sword in one hand and his crossbow in the other, he levels the crossbow with you and he's getting ready to fire as just a small radiation of a chew from Sparky just rocks him off his feet almost. He keeps running slightly and stumbling, the crossbow on fire as he's still leveled it with you, and he's fucking hurt as he's like, you shan't get away. As he's in bad way. Let me just roll again. Okay. Okay. Coming out of this door here, you see the door open, and I'm just going to reveal part of the area for Sparky's sake. As a familiar person who you spoke with not too long ago comes out and goes, and now what's all the shouting about? We're trying to siphon here. And he kind of sees Sparky and like peeks and like sees the screaming stuff and can hear like the shouting of Clarissa and stuff and goes, ah, interesting. I'm just going to slap him right at the bottom of the initiative, so he'll go after you, Argyle.
Gotcha.
So he has a 0 on initiative, technically. So Argyle, it's now your turn. This guy's still trying to chase you down, and you just see the head poke out of the man before.
Sure. Argyle says, because he's like looking back down the corridor, he like looks past the guard that's barely on any health, melting from the sneeze, and
you could so much as poke this dude and he may collapse.
he says, "Get some tight." As Sparky moves closer and makes another sneeze on this guy as he's traveling past.
Okay.
Because sneezes always come in too. Maybe. Canon now.
Yeah, well, I'd never sneeze just once, so no, that's canon.
Okay.
If you sneeze just
he
once,
was a natural one.
let's roll some severity. Alright. The mage sticks a hand out and just crushes it. As the energy builds up around Sparky and goes to fire it out, instead of shooting out like you're used to, Yeah, basically, Belial, anyone that rolls a natural 1, I roll a D100 for how bad the fail is. The lower the number, the worse. You watch as the energy shoots out, catches itself, and then folds back in and slams right back into Sparky. Can you roll 2d6? He takes 5 points of damage as this small orb that's around him pushes the flames back, protecting the guard, and then crushes in on Sparky, dampening some of the flames from around him. As the number
fire damage?
No, it's force damage.
Okay.
Because it's the force of the actual arcane shield that's crushing. As he goes, well, this is just cheating, is it not?
I'll go like his claws like grip the ground in a tense maneuver, and he looks down to Sparky, who's floating there, somewhat dazed by the magic
Yeah.
hitting him, and he looks towards Clarissa, and he looks towards Sparky, looks to Clarissa and Sparky, and he says,
I'm sorry, Sparky.
and he will release the concentration
Yeah.
of enlarge.
You know, I thought you were going to fucking pick Sparky. Pick any of the 4 squares you want to land in.
Okay, that.
Yeah.
And disappear around the corner.
I thought for a second you were going to do it again to Clarissa and just be like, I gotta go. My flame boy needs me.
Yeah, well,
That
it was a
would
hard
be the
decision.
worst.
It was like a moment in Castaway where Wilson the volleyball is floating away on the river, on the waves. And he'll rush past Clarissa with the rest of his movement. And interact with the door if you can, with a free action.
It's locked.
You hear this.
Oh no.
That's his turn.
No! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no.
It's locked.
Deja vu.
I'm going to narrate this because obviously Sparky can see it. Number 8 steps out and just kind of just brushes his arms, his hands, his shoulders a little bit and goes, unlucky, next time. Hands together and just brushes them down his arms once more as his entire body glows with a shimmery armor as he casts mage armor on himself. And goes 5, 10, stepping around Sparky, 15, 20, 25, 30. Does Sparky... Oh, no, your reactions come back if you do wish to take it again. Because
Yeah,
you've had a turn
but-
since.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of want to save it for the guy, Damien.
Yes, okay, that's fine. And... So yeah, Sparky sees as he's wiping his hands down his arms and his chest, the shimmer of like a arcane plate armor starts to form and just hover around his body as he's slowly just walking down, almost like, fucking really, guys, you have to make me do this. And he just slowly walks down the corridor, just talking and humming to himself. Clarissa, as you hear him say, "Oh no," you just hear the footsteps of a man and the arcane flash and the silhouette of a couple people from the mage armor as number 8's walking down the corridor to you guys.
Gonna call out first of all to Argyle. What do you mean, oh no? They're coming down the corridor. We can't have an oh no moment right now. I refuse to hear oh no. Then she realizes that the door is locked. I think I'm gonna rush over and help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aren't you supposed to be strong? Just open it! I don't have any spellcasting focus. Do
No,
I?
no focus. The only things, essentially, the only spells you can use are the ones that are verbal and semantic, or a mix of the two. None that have component, because the druidic focus would replace, or your holy symbol would replace the need for components or a component pouch, which none of you have either.
Okay. So next question is:
Mm-hmm.
Is this wall made out of stone?
The wall is made out of stone, but the door is made out of metal.
Okay. Is this porous stone, or is it really, really tight?
It looks very, very well made stone. Unnaturally well made.
Unnaturally well made. Okay, so it's not like it can like awaken the spores and the seeds inside of the stone and make
No, this stone's more like it's pure dense stone. It's been generated to be such. It's slightly unnatural.
And the floor as well. Same?
The floor's pure stone. The only difference that you've seen so far is the room you started in was made of sand. And you heard when the guards come rushing out to help Jeff, that was wood. Everywhere else has been pure stone.
I can cast Cure Wounds. That I can. So there's no plant growth activity here I can do at all. No
Zero.
seeds that I.
Zero. And
Alright.
all the seeds and plant material that would have been on you has long been washed away. You are, for the first time in a long time, spotless.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna stand protectively by Argyle, raise the knife, and hold my action if something comes within range. Yes.
Okay. Guards. They would have spent their action messages. Yep. Okay, so then these two are going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then he's going to go 60. These two are going to continue 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then 60. These guys are going to start treating their wounds with various supplies they have on hand. This guy, with determination to avenge his boyfriend Jeff, is going to take 5-foot step forward.
Damien gonna die.
Oh, you're going to kill Damien off here right now, really?
Yep.
Roll a hit.
24 to hit.
Yep.
You want the damage roll?
I mean, we
Really
may
wanna do this to Damien.
as well see how bad.
Maximum damage.
So what would have instant killed him? Yeah, nice. Nice. You kill Damien. Cold blood. As he takes a
He makes another sneeze.
as he takes a step forward, there's just another blast that kind of like lifts him off his feet and he arches backwards and just hits the floor with a clatter and just a slight skid as his hair, the back of his head, some of the fabric on his armor is just burning. It's actually like an actual fire. Not just cinders, fire. As this man has took some damage. Argyle.
Oh man. Can I? The door you said looked special.
The door is metal with gold filigree. Everything else in and around doors, the door way, the walls, floor, ceiling is all stone. 100% pure dense stone.
Look, Sparky's gonna move. Hovering over him. Got a job to do.
Is he doing anything?
can. Yeah, he's gonna dash. One dash.
Okay.
And metal door. Is there a keyhole?
Yes.
Can I look through the keyhole?
Make a perception check.
A 12.
It's hard to see, obviously, because the keyhole's fairly small, and with the pressured situation, there's something lighting the room the other side. It's not a flame, and it's not like a torchlight like you've got in here. It's a different glow. It's blue, like a blue hue. You can't see anything else because that's distorting your vision too much, especially with the lack of sight. Because don't forget as well, you're flying semi-blind.
Yes, of course. Do I recall any sort of blue hue, like at any point, like?
When you were teleported here, you were unconscious.
Right.
The only things you've seen since you've been here is the room that you were with Clarissa in Just, and the room where you've been siphoned. You have been blindfolded the entire time since. Because if you work it out as well, I'll just point it out on the map. I'll just show you. You kind of gain the knowledge that you were in one of these 3 rooms here on the right, because where you'd normally go across the way into this room here, and then you got took into that room instead. Just for a bit of clarification, so that's literally, you've only seen this room here and that room here, the insides.
Then I'll look to Clarissa and say,
Blue horror through there. I have no idea if that is a good or a bad thing. It could lead to our doom, or it could be freedom. That I do not know. But you need to hold off the others, the guards, that man, until Sparky can get us through.
that'll be the turn.
Okay.
His perception check was his action.
I'll give you as a bonus. Because I would say you would have give up looking pretty quick, given it was pretty obvious there was nothing much to be seen because of the roll. So I'll be kind and give it you as a bonus. If you'd have got a high roll, you would have examined the keyhole and looked a lot more depth, which would have been an action. But you kind of looked and be like, blue, can't see.
Alright. Okay.
So you have got action.
Okay, perfect. Then I will move one step there, just in case. And I will ready a spell of Scorching Ray
Okay.
for the next humanoid
Yes.
goes around the corner.
Okay. Number 8's turn, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can technically see him, but he'll have half cover at that point.
Well, I can cast through Sparky, so it makes no difference.
Do you want to go now?
If I can see him,
Yes.
yeah, Sparky will make a big sneeze.
A lot of sneezes.
Yeah, it's allergies.
I'm confused. Isn't
20
Sparky supposed to be hot and not have a cold?
20, 24 to hit. That hits.
It's a fever. Have you know?
An 11.
That misses, unfortunately.
And, oh, that's 2 more. One there. Another 11. Damn.
That misses.
And then finally a...
Oh, did you cast this at 4th level?
3rd level.
Oh, so you only get 3. Oh, no, ignore me. Nice. 9 misses. So the one hits as it just hits the center of the armor, and you just watch some of the arcane armor just burn away and crack as some of the flames just lick up his right shoulder. It's just like,
God.
with an extra 1 point of damage, and it's just like...
That's the 3rd nat one.
You know, Doctor, you could have lived. One of you could have lived. Now none of you will. he's gonna raise his hand back and just cast a simple firebolt to go back at first. And that gets me a plus 6. Which hits. And 7. Oh wait, no. Yeah, 7 points of fire damage, just crack, just right in the stomach, and it's just like it just knocks the wind out of you.
He's casting it at me or Sparky?
At you.
Okay.
He's well aware that you're the one controlling Sparky. Are we done? Clarissa.
She is going to step in front here and say, "Hey, give him a chance! He hasn't done it yet!" And she's going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
He's going to cast Counterspell at 3rd level with his reaction.
All the dead.
You've used your action to cast Spiritual Weapon.
The bonus action.
It's a bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Oh, no, wait. No, isn't it an action to summon and then it's a bonus action to command? Let me double check. You may be
Bonus
right.
action.
Casting time bomb bonus action, and when you cast it, you can make an attack with that.
Shit, yeah, okay, then Toll the Dead it is.
Yeah.
That's a wisdom save, I believe.
Yes. Yes, 14.
Nice.
The music died.
7.
7.
The music's still going in my ears.
Oh.
That's weird.
Line of sight on that file, but yeah, they're they're getting a bit of cover each. But you've got to consider that neither of them two are wearing armor, so their AC's like 12. So even with a +5, it's still gonna hit.
She holds out her hand and causes a few of those bells and the wind chimes that she had back at the tent like appear spectrally
Yeah.
around his head.
Nice. Okay. Starting to take some damage. Not bad, not bad. So yeah, you'd go to summon the spiritual weapon, and he just kind of just cocks his head with a smirk and just left hand clicks the fingers and just sends this disruptive energy towards you, shattering the incantation midway, and just kind of like, and you just instead take some of the shards of arcane energy that are shattered, pull them together, and then throw them at him, and the spectral bells just appear around him, and just a large gong and series of smaller ones from the different smaller bells ring around his head as you see him. Takes damage. You done? Clarissa.
You're done.
Yeah. I'm done standing there in front.
Okay, guard's turn. These boys are going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over Damien. You sound like a great DM. I try. I mean, the other two that are players at the minute are DMs, so it probably helps as well, because they're enhancing their roleplay. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so they start rushing around there. Argyle, it's back to you.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
Oh man, oh boy.
Oh man, oh man, oh man.
Oh woman.
Oh, whammon.
I'll get Sparky to move past, to move back to there.
Mm-hmm.
Already used.
I like it cut, G.
He will call back, say, "We're done when the doctors say we're done." And he will use the fiery teleportation to get through the other side of the door.
Okay.
there, and you're like just a little Sparky. Clarissa.
So yeah, you teleport the other side, and you see it's like a small office space. There is a desk at the edge of the room, right next to you, Argyle. There's some bookshelves and cases amongst a small chest that's currently shut. It doesn't seem to be locked. In the centre of the room, there is a floating blue crystal that hums with a blue hue.
Where's the crystal?
Centre of the room,
Where's
dead
Sparky's?
centre. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff. There's a chest, a desk, and bookshelves are all to the edge of the room, and this crystal is dead centre.
Alright. He in a dash to get to next to Clarissa, he says,
No, I have no idea what I'm doing. You have always been the smarter one.
No. Oh my god.
I like that. Just no.
Why are we doing this to each other? A very high pitch. Me? No, I don't know. So many things happening at the same time. Are we just gonna touch you? Are we just gonna let it be? I don't know what.
Argyle like poops her on the nose with his claw. Poop to shut her up. And maybe
Shut up.
Clarissa might have harkened that back to almost like the first day that they were working together. That would have been an interaction that Argyle did to her when she may have been overthinking. And says to her,
Yeah, boy.
No time for that. I hope later.
and as he has his little padded paw on her nose, he's gonna reach out and try and grab the crystal.
Okay, and what do you do as you grab the crystal?
Can I
What are you
channel a
thinking?
spell slot into it?
What are you thinking, feeling, doing, like sort of channeling a spell slot? So yeah, I just want to get an idea of your tension.
Okay.
You touching it, what are you doing?
I'm thinking of the first day where Clarissa and Argyle were actually had a good day. The first project they worked on in tandem before they became rivals.
Mm-hmm.
That same perspective as he boops her on the nose, and has a gentle but weakened smile as a memory of that day flashes through his mind.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You reach out, grab the crystal. The crystal's sizable. It's like it's on a platform. It's like 4 foot tall, 2-3 foot wide. You get the sense as you reach. It's warm to the touch, although it looks like it should be bitter, icy cold. And you just get the wave of feeling of where.
The academy.
In a flash of light, Clarissa, you watch as Argyle's form folds in on itself, similar to like how the teleporting in the Harry Potter films is, and then it just like throws itself into the crystal, and he's gone from sight.
Okay.
Come,
Don't leave me.
I'm gonna come to you in a second, Argyle.
She's
5.
gonna immediately grab for the crystal herself.
It's not your turn
Or you
yet.
get me. Oh
Yeah.
fuck! It's not my turn.
It's number 8's turn.
Mature.
5,
Oh no.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You don't see this, but for the sake of explaining, he pulls out a small crystal, very reminiscent to the ones that have been used, puts it in his mouth and crunches and bites down on it. As a bonus action, he activates the crystal to cast Misty Step. Other side of the door. Turns and looks at you, looks at the crystal.
Oh,
Going
no.
somewhere? And I was going to use this on both of you.
I
But
don't
there's
want to be
some-
that guy,
Yeah?
but you have to see the place you misty step to?
You can envision it.
Mm-mm.
Let
You
me
have to
double
see
check.
it.
Let me double check, because you may be right. You may be right. I don't mind if it's the correct thing, 'cause I'd rather it be right, you know what I mean?
Unless he looks through the keyhole, but not putting words in your mouth. But
No, you're right. Up space, you
I
can
was
see.
just about to
No,
say
no,
that,
he's right. He's right. Okay, okay.
But
he-
through the keyhole, probably.
Yeah, but the chances of that. So he's gonna. So what I'll do then is I'll use a bonus action to unlock the door.
oh no, okay, fair. Just
Oh,
walk through the door.
okay.
The only difference is 5 foot of movement, because basically she's gonna get advantage on this save that she's about to do, because cover. So if anything, you've helped a little bit.
Okay. Yay, rules lawyers.
Rules lawyering like that I appreciate, because I'd like the mistakes to be taken away, but there's a way of doing it, and the way you did it is perfect. I don't mind that. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, if anything.
I also think it has to do a lot with how you say it as well. I mean,
Exactly.
you can be rule advisor rather than loose lawyer.
Yeah, like, hang on, I don't want to be that guy, but have a check. Or, heard or you got it wrong. No, I don't like them people. But either way, he takes out from his component pouch a small glass cone, levels it towards you, and goes, I gave you a choice. It's a shame it had to end like this. Has he cast Cone of Cold?
Shit.
He was he was gonna bamf in and do it on both of you. It's his highest level spell he has. He gets one of these. He gets 1 5th level slot, and he's using it on Cone of Cold. So can you make me a Constitution saving throw, because of Adrian's correct pronunciation of the rules, with advantage because of the cover from the doorway?
Pronunciation of the rules.
Clarification.
Alright. Oh god.
Con save with advantage. You need to beat a 14.
Let's go. Let's do it.
He's not got a great DC.
Hey, Clarissa, as soon as he opens the door, she's gonna like try to melt into the stone behind her, trying to get away from the cone of cold as much as possible.
Oh no.
And because you fail, you're going to take
so
8 d8 cold damage.
Oh no. That's so sad.
Oh no, that's so weird.
Just for how much health do you have?
I took some damage, so 34 is what I have right now.
Oh no.
That's my max HP. What's that? Oh no. Well, I'm gonna blow him a sherry before I die.
You don't die.
Or like fall unconscious. Yeah.
You become a frozen statue.
Oh shit. Yeah.
The last thing you see is this cone leveled and the smirk of number 8 as a hail of cold energy just wraps around you, and you tuck up against the door and hide from it as much as you can, and you just feel like the fur stiffen and go to ice, and you feel that snow-like feature crawl up the arms, and as you've got your arms up against your face covering it, you just freeze.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Your
Can,
mind.
can I freeze whilst I'm blowing the sherry?
You certainly can.
Alright.
Literally, I was going to do that and get both of you. It's a shame you didn't pass, because you would have been able to have escaped.
It works like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Dice are dice.
you made him use his most powerful spell he had, because it was the only 5th level spell he had, and he only had 1 slot of it.
Give me my staff and I will show you my 5th level.
So sad.
Argyle,
Yeah.
let's move. I'm just going to change the music from tense to emotional. That sounds good. We're going to move you guys to Havelter, which is where you land. Get out of here, Cravala. You land here in the Central Arcanist University, where your adventure began. Where your studies of the arcane and all that is, you puff into existence in the middle of the teacher who studied you, whose classroom is empty, but it's that classroom.
I take a step.
I'll-
5 feet. It doesn't have to do anything.
1 sec. It was a magic item he used, Rose, because basically when they were siphoning spell slots, it was a bonus action to basically cast a free spell. That's what they've been doing. So he could, because it's not casting a spell, he's using an item. But I appreciate the checking. Go on, Adrian.
He takes a few steps away from where he operates into the academy and feels, for the briefest of moments, relief of freedom, escape. And in the silent classroom, turns around as Sparky floats nearby. And he says to Sparky,
Any minute now, Sparky. I'll catch her coming through that portal. And we will finally be friends. Once more. Isn't that right, Sparky?
That's right, sir. Any minute now.
Any minute now. Any minute now.
A minute goes by. 2 minutes. 3. 4. She's not coming. Sir? Maybe she goes somewhere else?
Any minute now, Sparky.
And you
you
just
need to wait.
Yeah, boy.
let me pull up your teacher's name, because I've forgotten it off the
Wojtek.
Wojciech, yes.
Wojciech.
Wojciech walks past the door and sees you guys in there. And, this classroom's closed. Argyle?
He doesn't react to the first call.
Argyle, what's wrong with you? You look a mess. You okay? As the elven gentleman that's been your tutor for the longest of times comes in a bit perturbed and confused, worried.
Argyle turns towards Wojciech. His ears are folded down sadly and wistfully, with tears in his eyes, and he points to a random space in air in the classroom and he says,
She's coming through. Any time now, Professor. I swear she's coming through.
Argyle, who are you on about? Who's coming?
Clarissa's coming. I know she's coming. She was right behind me.
He'll kind of
So
just put his hand on your shoulder. Bear in mind the height difference. You've got like a good foot on him, so he's kind of got his arm up. What's happened to you? Are you okay?
She was right behind me.
And that's
I have to go back.
where we'll end the session. Clarissa,
Oh, sad.
Clarissa, a statue in an unknown dimension, in the firm grasp of whoever. Argyle free, a man in the academy, broken, but in the hands of his tutor, Wojciech. Who knows what'll happen next? Guess we'll have to find out.
Oh my god!
Belial, thank you so
Yeah.
much for the 5,000 bits. I am not mean. Number 8 is mean, okay? Number 8's an asshole. But no, for rules clarification, those crystals that they were siphoning your spell slots into, it's a custom magic item of mine in which a spell slot can be stored in it, up to a certain level only. And then, as a bonus action, you can bite the crystal and activate whatever spell's inside it. So basically, when they've been siphoning your spell slots, they've been taking specific spells from the cleric and druid list to give out to their people to use.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
So spells that things like wizards and stuff normally can't cast now suddenly have the availability to on a bonus action.
Oh no, you guys speak.
Thank you, Matt,
Well,
for the 100 bit,
there.
1,000 bits. Sorry, even, and thank you, fucking. There's been like nearly 20. I would argue it's probably like 20,000 bits have been fucking gone through like this session, like with fucking all sorts. There's been a lot of support for you two, a lot of hoping.
Hey, glad to be here.
Yeah. Fun to RP. Always fun to RP with you and Adrian.
But
Always a pleasure.
Argyle is free, and what?
Really though.
He's physically
Trapped in
free.
his own mind.
He's physically free. Is the timeline up to date now? Yes. This would have brought the timeline in line with the session that'll be kicking off this Saturday. Yeah.
No.
The party in the chat looks considerably pissed with Adam, Rose, Carl, Matt, all invested now. Heavily so in your case.
Well, we're thankful that you guys liked us so much. And thank you for all the bits being sent to Dan. You're all so sweet.
It's been fucking stupid. Like, you guys are crazy generous, but yeah. But
Please don't call me goat. Please.
Furball and Goat Girl.
Oh, fuck off. No.
the last thing I want to leave on the session as a note. You don't know how much time later, Clarissa. But
Oh no.
your eyes awaken, alive, after Spare
I
the
like
Dying.
it cut, G.
After Spare the Dying was used, and then a Revivify, so you didn't have a choice in the matter on whether to be revived or not. You wake up in your cell, a different cell, alive and alone. This one's more like a proper prison cell. Your fate is yet to be decided.
Clarissa is gonna cry her eyes out.
Because Revivify is the one revive spell that you don't get the choice with.
And then she's going to say, at least I did it. At least you got out. I did it. Yay.
And yeah. Just so you know, you are alive.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ.
And for those that want to know what number 8 stats were, I used a very slightly bumped up mage stat from the back of the monster manual. Buffed him in a few certain areas, especially where it counts. But yeah, so I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to chat to these guys. Party members, if you wish to come and join the Discord and probably have a rant at me, you're more than welcome to.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. The next stream will be tomorrow, and it will either be a collab stream with Nelly playing Remnant from the Ashes, or I'll be starting the other game that Belial kindly pretty much sponsored for me, Days Gone. Either one's a great game. Yeah?
Can we shout out Adrian Theron, Cost D&D?
Oh,
who's
sure,
doing
for
a
sure.
really cool playthrough of a homebrew world called Corruption of Stallone.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's super cool. There are like 30 episodes.
Hang on.
He needs more viewers, guys. He deserves it. Check it out.
There we go.
Thank you for the shout out.
I was just saying, Nell's doing
Appreciate it.
Warframe with the stuff.
Check out Bexy Chillin'.
Okay.
Creating an RPG called Frostmark is awesome.
Yeah, I will shout both of them out because they've more than fucking earned it. So for the voice of Clarissa, for the voice of Argyle, check out Cos D&D. For the voice of Clarissa, check out Bexy Chillin'. They both do D&D content. They're great people, as you've heard. It's probably what made this session extra special because we're all three of us are DMs, so like we can all add that extra flavour and where it counts and make it fucking pop. Because we know it all because we breathe it practically when we run sessions ourselves. But yeah, next stream will be tomorrow. I've just had word from Stuart to my right that Nellie's busy, so it'll be starting the Days Gone playthrough. Again, both games were single-handedly sponsored by Belial with the fucking stupid generosity he's given me over the past week. You're now on 14,000 bits. You're fucking top tier by 4k. Like, fuck me, dude. Like, that's in a week. He's give 14,000. Fuck. That's so much.
Damn.
Jeez, man. I've just realised, like, Jesus Christ.
Master of the biddies.
Mate, he's gonna...
Master of the... No, I'm not gonna finish that.
He gives the bits, I give the tits. Let's go. I will see you guys tomorrow. Much love, everyone. And like I said, party members, you're more than welcome to join the D&D Discord and shout at me. Well, I'd imagine we'll be here for a couple minutes chatting.
Yeah, I
see
hear
you.
them joining right now.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Mwah.